What's good, y'all? So I was replying to a comment, and then my mind really started buzzing on the topic. But we all have moments in our lives where everything is confusing. And that can mean different things for different people. Some people's like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Or sometimes you just kind of sitting there like, I feel off. Like I feel like something changed and I'm just not aware of what it was, but I'm just aware enough to know that something changed, but not specifically what it is. So you're just kind of like, okay, I'm seeing some things, okay, synchronicities and stuff like that. But I was trying to think of why does that happen? And I'm really struggling with to getting all of the right words together, but I just thought I'd record and see what came out of my mouth. But it's kind of like when you're walking a dog, and when you're walking and it's not pulling on the leash, y'all both are walking like in harmony. There's no tension. There's literally no tension on the leash. It's just that the dog is walking right next to you. It's just like la 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 la, a nice simple walk. But then if that dog sees a squirrel or something, then it's like whoo, and then it's like like you feel that pull. It's, oh, this is different. This is different. We're no longer harmonious. There is tension. There is resistance between you and me, the dog that wants to go chase the squirrel. How dogs square up when they see it and blah blah blah. And say, hey, 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 calm down. Or when they see another dog, that type of stuff. So that's kind of where I see the confusion. When you have any type of confusion in your life, you have to get reacclimated, like that's why they say in the spiritual community, like recentered. You have to get recentered, recalibrated, catch up, slow down. You have to get back to the right speed. If you're running on a treadmill and like the treadmill's going, let's just say at 7 miles an hour, and you are outrunning it, that means you're going to be pushing up against the whole little dashboard thing, right? Because you're running faster than the pace that it was going. And then likewise, if you're not able to run fast enough, then you're going to turn into like one of those fail videos on the internet and you're going to roll over and smack yourself against the wall. You're going to get kicked off the conveyor belt. When you're going too fast, you're going too slow, that's when we feel the confusion, because we're either setting our own new pace, like we are starting to set our own pace, or the things around you is just like you are out of sync. You see what I'm saying? Either it's like, for those of you that still believe your life is on autopilot, you are getting out of sync with the program. You are getting out of sync with the system that you have because you're starting to become a lot more aware. Likewise, for the people that create our own lives, we are getting tired of the pace that we've been going at, and we want to move faster or slower. I do believe, like when it comes to corporate America, I do believe that some people want to move slower. But corporate America keeps you at this pace. It's like, okay, we need the deadlines, budgets. When you just like, yo, I just want to sit back. That's why so many people hate work. No one likes going to work unless it's one of those jobs that you truly are passionate about. Like if you've always wanted to be a zookeeper, you go every day and you be a zookeeper. But you know what I'm saying, for those of us that got duped into school, into college, for college for some jobs that we don't even care about now. You went to college to be a chemical engineer, and now you're a barista making shapes with some foam, and you enjoy that so much more than all this extra stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I recommend you try to get something from that, do some crazy stuff with the coffee, have some different types of bubbles and make the different formats and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, use it. You went through it. You might as well try to use it. That's why I make a reference to parent material all the time, because I study soil science. All soil came from a parent material. So I try to use what I learned where I'm at now. You feel me? But anyway, everything is about matching the vibration. In order to receive a thing, in order to touch a thing in this world, you must match the energy of it, or something like that. I forget how it was, like one of those Rumi quotes from back in the day. I forgot how it went. Anyway, I got through it. Anyway, you got to match the vibration before you can have it in your life. That's why I always recommend for people when it comes to manifestation to walk as if. Because if you're walking like it, you're giving off the perception. Where attention goes, energy goes. So if people are perceiving that and you're walking around, some people are going to think, wow, that's a rich man right there. Wow, that's a confident man right there. Wow, that's a confident woman. Wow, that's a really good female leader for a company. You feel me? It's like when you start to just walk like that, even if your life isn't, that's when you start to set your own pace, and then life has to adapt to you. See, right now, life does something, you adapt. Do you do something and then life has to adapt? That's the easy world that you can put yourself in. You know, another thing I was thinking about, another way I was wording it in my head was you have to rise to the frequency of clarity. You manifest everything in your world. Call me a hippie if this is like your first time listening to me or not, whatever. You manifest literally everything. All this stuff is here for you because you either signed up for it before you came down here, or you are literally creating everything in your life by the energies that you give off, and that's what you receive in your life. So if you are in this world of creation, why are you feeling at any dis-ease? Whether that be your physical or your mental. Why are you sitting here like, wait? Because you're creating your own struggle. All you got to do, for some of y'all that understand energy work and frequencies and vibrations, all you have to do is rise your vibration. Well, let's just say this is the answer, right? The answer is here. Life is giving you a whole bunch of nudges, synchronicities. For the person's comment, come on, come back. For like the person's comment where you're saying you're recognizing people and you're seeing stuff, okay, but you don't know why. So there means there's a gap between you and the truth. So what you have to do, you have to close this gap. You could say, I'm bringing the answer to me, boom. Or you could say, I'm going to rise to the frequency of the answer, because then you're going to get another one. And you rise and you rise. That's why life gives you challenges. That's why life does some weird things sometimes, because it's like, all right, you gonna catch up, or are you gonna change this up? What you gonna do? Like it's almost like if you were taking a test. This is something I wish I knew in college. When they teach you to go with your gut, pretty much how to guess, right? Sure, that's kind of like what I'm about to refer to you now, or talk to you about now. They say go with your gut. If you ever get to a question, don't spend too much time with it. Just go with your gut and move forward, and maybe you can just circle back to it. Sure, whatever. But then, why not just, okay, where was I going with it? Pretty much use that same principle I was talking about to just rise to the answer. What's the difference, right? If you just guess A through A, B, C, D, and you just guess B, and boom, and it's right, versus you knowing it. It doesn't matter. Like if you knew it, like if you studied it, or if you completely guessed it. You see how we're on both ends of the spectrum? And you got it right. What's the point? So what if, this is hypothetical, I'm not telling y'all to go out here and just start to spirituality your way through tests and stuff. Oh, look, 100. But I kind of am at the same time. Because what if you can unlock that in your brain? Does it not take energy for your brain to send a signal to your arm, shoulder, blah, 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 to your hand to mark down the correct answer? So what happens when you use that a little bit more? You change the ingredients that's going on in your brain, and you say, yo, rise to the frequency of the correct answer. Reveal the correct answer to me. And your hand just does something. That's kind of like how people back in the past used their own bodies, their own arms, the feelings that they felt with the ground as a divining rod. They could always find water because they were able to connect their body, their circuitry in a different way. What happens when you figure out how to do that for your tests? What happens when you learn how to do that? Like, for example, for me, it's like I feel like I'm pretty good at giving advice because I'm good at getting to your frequency wherever you're at. And be like, oh, let me talk to you like this. And let me give you, just because I don't know you personally, let me give you this far out one. Let me give you one that makes a little bit more sense to you. Let me give you something that I don't even agree with, but maybe you might. How about that? Oh, that worked? Cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's how I do it, because you just adapt. You change your frequencies, I'm not saying that like when you lower it, it's like there's almost like there's like a overall frequency, like your true frequency, and then there's like your mental state. Sometimes your mental state can also be the frequency, and that could be the little tweaks. You know, I see my brain as a bunch of like little knobs I can just adjust to get to where I need to get to. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's just a little bit on that. If you're confused in life, just rise to the frequency of clarity. Just like how some of y'all are starting to get better and better at manifesting things, manifest the non-physical things as well. Manifest answers, manifest clarity, manifest peace. You know, rise to the frequency of these things. Because the higher and higher you rise in frequency, the less and less you get negative stuff like confusion, like anger, like envy, like jealousy. It doesn't exist anymore because you're way too high up. Once again, when you just start, there's a point where you're rising that you'll be scared that you're leaving the ground. Oh my God, I'm leaving the ground. But if you keep on rising, you're gonna get to a point you can't even see the ground no more. And then your attention just turns upwards. And then you continue to rise and rise and rise, completely focused on growing and growing and growing. So anyway, I hope that helped. Hope that made sense to y'all. To the next one.